Hello, beautiful people. Hello, hello. Hi, SO2 Hope. How are you? I just wanted to pop in and give everybody some updates. I'm a bit glamorous right now. Have some makeup on just because I came back from. Awesome, good to hear. I just came back from doing a spring shoot for my Instagram page. So there's a couple things I wanted to talk about today. First, I'm back in Toronto, back in my apartment. It feels great. I love the city. It's beautiful, vibrant, and also I think I mentioned in my last scope. Thanks for the hearts, Hope. I think I mentioned in my last scope that I started a blog. So I'm now a new blogger, and I think it's really cool. It's really, really fun. I enjoy putting my ideas out there. And the name of my blog is called Journey to an Enterprise. Just because I have big visions, and I feel like it's important to put things out into the universe, like to put them out into existence, to declare them that they will happen. And I do believe that it can happen, that anything is possible, which is why I'm also going to be doing a marathon. So I know, Hope, that you saw my post on the Instagrams, which is awesome. I appreciate the love there. I've wanted to do a marathon for years. I think probably in my first year, yeah, for sure, it's so true. Even before my first year in university, it's something that I wanted to do. I don't know, I just started, like, I would randomly say, I want to do a marathon. I want to do a marathon. It's just, to me, it seemed like it was the epitome of all the overcoming challenges and fulfilling your purpose. Like, to me, that's what it felt like to know that you are capable of achieving something like that. I really, that's what really spoke to me about marathons. I would see people do it, and like how overwhelmed and excited they were to complete it, which is awesome, because we always say things like, life is not a race, it's a marathon. You really have to pace yourself, and you really have to the goal is to finish. It doesn't matter how fast you go. So I think doing a marathon will really prove to myself that I'm capable of anything. And even you can compare it to business principles. Yes, for sure. It takes determination. It takes commitment. I think there's lipstick on my teeth. Sorry. It takes commitment, dedication. You have to you have to put your all into it, especially when you set goals. When you're committed to setting goals, you want to see them through, and because you work so hard for them, you can't just say, okay, I'm gonna quit, because how many more things in your life are you gonna quit? If you quit on one thing, you're bound to quit on other things. So for me, I'm committing to it. I put it out on social media, so social media will hold me accountable. and yeah, and I'm really excited. I'm excited for that. By the way, I'm wearing Queen right now, my unit. I love how natural looking she is. Thanks, Ho, for sharing. Yeah, I love how natural looking she is. I love that I don't have to blend her in. Like, I don't have to work so hard to blend her in with my hair. She's awesome. I love her. You could part her anywhere. I'm digging the side part. I'm digging the side part today. Thank you. What else did I want to talk about? My prayer life. Okay. So, after the courageous venture of quitting my job and going at my business full time, I have been I've strengthened my prayer journey, my walk with God. And one thing that I've learned, yes, likes, one thing that I've learned on this journey, it's just a whole bunch of journeys just going on right now. What I learned is that to see the potential that God has, to really see the power that he has, you have to sacrifice some things. Like you just have to. For me, I was really caught up in a certain lifestyle. Like, I would go out salsa dancing. I really fell in love with Cuban salsa. So it was just when I discovered it, it was like my life. Like, I was so in love with it, and it felt so free to dance and everything. And God was really showing me, like, I want your attention. I want you to focus on me. And I at first I didn't realize it, because I was just like, I'm just having fun. It's innocent. Like, I was still going to church, but I was noticing the more I would invest my time in dancing, the less I would pray, the less I would reach out to God. And when he, like, I felt like Jonah getting swallowed up by the fish. Like, when it was time to quit my job, like, God was like, you're not doing this. You're going to start your business. And then after that point, it was like, okay, so now what? Now what? Now what is you have to walk in faith. Now what is you have to know for yourself that God is your provider. That when he says he's your provider, you have to live that out and know it for yourself. How many of us, think that we're stable and comfortable in the jobs that we have? Like, God forbid, I don't want anyone to lose their job, but your employer isn't keeping you. It's just the reality of the situation. People get laid off all the time. Or everywhere, people get laid off. My mom got laid off from her job a few years ago. It's not guaranteed. When you put your faith on tangible things, when you lose them, it's like a devastation. One thing I can't shake is in Alberta, Canada, just this year, suicide rates went up 30% in Alberta alone. And that's only one province in Canada. And this was after the job market crisis that happened at the time. So the links are parallel. Yeah, it's pretty insane. And there was even a woman that murdered somebody in a Shoppers Drug Mart near the place I used to work. I used to always walk by there. And her story was that she was homeless. She had an MBA. She had the best credentials. She had an MBA. She had high grades, the top grades in her class, but she couldn't find a job. And when the devastations of stress and life comes on your shoulders and you don't know what else to do, people pick up guns. People, kill one another and do crazy things. It's just the reality of the world we live in. But when you put your faith in something, I know not everybody is a believer in God or Christianity, or you might believe in some other being, but at the end of the day, when you put your faith in yourself, awesome. When you put your faith in yourself, you will never succeed. You cannot put faith into yourself. How many celebrities that we know commit suicide how many celebrities just decide they're gonna kill themselves, overdose on drugs? They try to find a scapegoat. And it's like, long story short, I know I'm going on a tangent, but what I learned was that I am nothing within myself. I'm nothing. I need God to keep me literally every single day. And I was reading this morning, I was reading a scripture in Chronicles. Chronicles is the most, thank you, Hope. Chronicles is the most boring scripture. It is so boring. But I was kind of, this time around reading it, I was kind of like scrolling through to parts that were important, and I was talking about David's family, and the point I was reading was just after God told David that you're not going to build my temple, that it's going to be your son. This scripture is kind of, Deuteronomy. Oh my God. And Leviticus. I can't. I'm never reading that again. But Chronicles was basically like repeating the stories in Kings and 2 Samuel. But tangent. What really stuck out to me was that there was a task assigned for David, and there was a task assigned for his son Solomon, and God said that you're not going to build my temple, that I'm leaving the task for your son. So can you imagine if David disobeyed God and decided, you know what, God's on my side? Can you imagine if David acted like Saul and made his own choice to build God's temple and disobeyed God? God would not, he would disobey, God's will, and God wouldn't approve of that. I feel like he has to be the director of our paths. He just has to be. If you're going to choose him, he has to be. If you're going to choose to live a life without Christ, then he doesn't have to be. But if you choose to live a life with him, he has to lead your life. And that's the lesson that I learned. And I'm really trekking through and digesting that in my spirit. Like, yeah, God, like, you're the one who's going to provide the business. You're the one that's going to give me the business plan. You're the one that's going to give me the branding ideas. You're going to put people into my life that are going to help me further my purpose. And praying has been life-changing. I've been able to pray for like people who've been telling me that they're in distress, and I've been praying for my mom, and I've been praying with a friend of mine and encouraging her. Thank you. And it really, I feel honestly overjoyed, and I feel so full. And I know this is only the beginning. He's changing me and transforming me. So that's going to segue into my last point for today. I have it all organized. It's all on paper of the discussions today. So business planning. I haven't quite drafted up a business plan yet. Like I started to calculate numbers and how much I could make and so on. But I never really thought of like a blueprint for my business yet. And that's definitely a task that I want to start working on. And like, if there's anybody that any of you guys can recommend for me to look into, that would be awesome. Because like business planning is really, I feel like it's really important. It helps you to stay grounded, and it helps you to put all your massive ideas out on paper. I started this Bristol board, like, of just writing down all my ideas on things that I wanted to do, like wigs for cancer and wigs for natural hair and black hair and expanding the blog, expanding my social media following, and all these kinds of things. So I started to write those things down. And in terms of branding, I'm not quite sure. I have some ideas of what my brand's going to be. The goal is to revamp the Instagram page and launch the website. So those are the goals. So those things are coming. The website's going to be up probably by the end of the year. And I'll be interacting more. I definitely need to create a new Twitter page. The Twitter page I have, it literally just reposts from Instagram. It's nothing spectacular. So yeah, that I just wanted to talk and update you guys and just do a quick chit chat. And I'm so happy to be back on the scope. I definitely want to be on more often. I post blogs every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm thinking maybe I can post a scope on a discussion of one of my blogs or something and start there. So at least it's more organized and that you guys can catch me and I'm not just randomly posting. So I'll pick a time, probably in the evening, to come on Scope every week. So yeah, it was great chatting with you. Thanks for all the hearts, SO2 Hope, and all the comments. I appreciate it. And for all the people that are watching the rebroadcast of this, thank you for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. And check out your girl on Instagram. My Instagram page is in the description and title of this scope. In case you can't see it, it's Tkehya's Hair Designs. I'm sure that's not going to mean anything to you because my name is very difficult to spell, but it's written there. So look in the title and you'll see it. So yeah, thanks. Bye, everybody.